if you had a chance to glance at your newspaper this morning, if you get one, particularly if you get one of the more serious ones, you will have seen what appears to be quite an organised piece of briefing on the part of the government to suggest, and it's most prominently in the Independent, that full steam ahead, as the Independent puts it, has been given for high-speed rail. The £32 billion high-speed rail link between London and Birmingham, cutting through some of Britain's most prized countryside, infuriating some Conservative MPs, set to be approved by the Transport Secretary, is how they put it. We are joined on the line now by Martin Tett, who is chairman of Buckinghamshire County Council and is also leader of one of the anti-HS2 groups. It's called 51M. Good morning to you.
Morning, Justin.
51M because it's 51 million for each constituency. Is that your...
Absolutely. We worked out that for every single parliamentary constituency in the country, that includes Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, they will be paying or forfeiting £51 million to pay for this proposed high-speed rail line.
And yet, in spite of that, and in spite of all the other objections that there have been, it looks as if the government's going to go ahead with it.
Well, as you, I think, rightly put your finger on, this is part of a well-orchestrated, very slick PR campaign the government's obviously launched with all the letters in the press yesterday and this report leaked this morning. To smooth the way for an announcement probably next Tuesday. We recognise that the government is very committed to this, but at a time of national austerity, we think this is a really bad decision. I think reflects some very poor priorities. And when you look at the cost, which is likely to be well in excess of £32 billion, I think at a time of austerity, this represents a very poor investment.
But if they decide to go ahead with it, make the announcement, they have the backing of Labour, what can you do?
Well, first of all, I think we need to absolutely bring into the spotlight the business case for this. As local authorities, I mean, we're not taking an NIMBY approach to this because we're used to taking some pretty unpopular decisions locally. So we've employed experts in the rail industry and business experts to look at this business case. And it really is not so much a business case, it's more of a basket case. It relies on things like every minute being spent by a businessman on a train being completely wasted, which in an age of mobile phones, laptops, iPads, etc., clearly isn't true, and it just intuitively isn't true.
But what they say is that they've Network Rail has carried out what the government says is a sober and independent analysis of alternative solutions, given that there is going to have to be some kind of upgrading and increasing capacity. They've looked at the alternatives, and they're worse.
Well, it's very interesting because two comments. First of all, when they did the original consultation, they also set out alternatives they'd evaluated in that. And most of them were slight caricatures, because what the government tended to do in that was to set up extreme options which nobody supported and then shoot them down.
So there are alternatives, they just haven't been properly looked at.
As the 51M Alliance, we've commissioned rail experts to look at how we can provide the capacity the country needs at far lower cost and far more quickly. And they've come up with a comprehensive scheme that could do this.
Hand on heart, Mr. Tett, can you still get this stopped, do you think?
We believe so, absolutely. I mean, we take inspiration from the campaign against the third runway at Heathrow, where the government decided to go ahead. But the campaign groups actually were invigorated by that decision, and they moved, and we did stop that. And we think we can do it on this as well.
Martin Tett, thank you very much.